Alright, so this is my very first review for an Amazon Instant Video original film. And this film is The Tomorrow War. The Tomorrow War, which stars Chris Pratt, is a time-traveling war film, and that's about it. That's, to simplify, that's the simplest way I can put that for The Tomorrow War. And that's not a bad thing, because one of the best things I do appreciate about The Tomorrow War is that they have actually a really good balance between time traveling and a war narrative. It's not just everybody shifting back and forth, present, past, future, and so on. It's actually the narrative itself, which is based within both time travel and a war-torn story. And I do agree with the writing for the most part. I think that this film definitely is way overlong. It does not have to be 2 hours and 10 minutes at least. It's honestly, for the film itself, I checked out about an hour and a half in, and then it kept going, and I already wasn't really all that interested. It's a good premise. I liked what they did with the standard time travel war story, and for the most part, most of the characters actually have good personalities, albeit some are very stereotyped. But essentially, though, The Tomorrow War, the biggest fault with The Tomorrow War is the length. It's, with credits, it's about 2 hours and 18 minutes, and the vibe from it kind of checks you out, like I said, around the hour and a half mark, and then you find out you still have 40 to 50 minutes left, and it feels just kind of like an epilogue. And it's because of the story within the narrative of the time travel and the war story. After everything is said and done, it just kind of continues. And that's the biggest problem with The Tomorrow War. Other problems I have with The Tomorrow War, there is some funny humor. Okay, this isn't a joyless mess like most professional critics are putting out to be. Like, for example, a funny moment is whenever they're drafted and they're suiting up, and the one guy questions their attire choices by saying, "You're stripping me of my pants, but that guy can keep his chef's hat on," and it shows the guy wearing a chef's hat. That was kind of funny. And then he brought up about it being more about fashion than survival. I did appreciate that for a joke, but most of the jokes are flat, and it stems from just kind of poking at each individual's personality type, and it kind of exposed the stereotyping within the characters. Chris Pratt always does a really good job acting, and he gets a lot of hate for his personal views, and that's not how I conduct my reviews. I conduct my reviews by how you make whatever your art is. So, for example, one of my all-time favorite music artists is Dave Grohl. He is a great and excellent musician. I believe he's also a very left blue Democrat. Chris Pratt is a very good actor. I really enjoy the films that he acts in, particularly when he plays Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt is also a very hardcore conservative. And that's the thing. I love both of them for what they do for their passion and art. Okay, I just don't look at people for the personal viewpoints whenever I'm reviewing whatever it is that they're putting out, that they're releasing. So The Tomorrow War, for me, the strongest aspect of it, I would have to say, is Chris Pratt and his acting. I think he does a really good job in his role. The biggest problems with The Tomorrow War, the story itself, even though there's a good balance between the time travel and the war, but the story itself, the writing has a lot of issues. the filmmaking itself, a lot of tone inconsistencies, and just it's way too long. It's way too long. That's another big issue, as I keep mentioning. Also, there are a lot of bad visuals, and it's because they relied an abundance on CGI effects over practical effects. Like they'll show cinematography filming over a city, and it doesn't look good. It's a war-torn city. Yeah, that's great and all, but it just looks so fake. Like the fire looks fake. Even the buildings look so fake. It's kind of just like they got on Google Images 3D and then put that into a film. That's honestly what it looks like. And the reason I like Chris Pratt so much in this film, as well as most other films he's in, is the Tomorrow War does his character justice, but only because there aren't really a whole lot of memorable characters in the Tomorrow War. There's him and his family, and they're memorable, and then they try to have personality for his teammates and everybody alike, but it's kind of like what they did in Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. They built up these characters with personality, and then some of them died pretty predictably and in pretty cliche ways. And even the story itself being wrote and just poorly done, even the family narrative, the family dynamic in the story revolving around Chris Pratt and his family, the plot devices for his family narrative, it's just all so predictable, and it's all been said and done before, especially in a war narrative. There isn't really anything to go into the Tomorrow War looking for anything new or fresh. It's enjoyable in that just watching it for Chris Pratt, but outside of that, there really isn't much to explore in the Tomorrow War. There isn't really even much mythos behind the aliens and everybody. It's just kind of future people come to the present and then warn of the Earth basically dying out, the human civilization. I believe it was 30 years from then, and so they're tasked into drafting people to go into the future to help fight the war, and everything is just so said and done a lot better before. So for me, the Tomorrow War is a 5 out of 10. Thank you.